it was torture for me to let him go to nursery when it was time. But from speaking to other parents, from professional advice, I was advised to let him go because it would be the best for him, and I did let him go. But it wasn't easy. The reason why they advised me to let him go to nursery is so that I can have that inclusion with other children. If this is your first time of watching my video or coming across my video, yeah, this page we promote and we try to share awareness for families with that have special need people, either adults, young adults, children, special need people in general. So what I do here with my crew and my children, what I do with my daughter and my young daughter, 5 years old, and my special needs son, who is 8 years old. So please, I'm going to say thank you very much for my new followers. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting us. Today, I'm going to drop the 5th episode of how I find out that my son has special need, and my experience, my journey so far. I used to drop this here on this page every Friday. So today I've done other episodes. If you go down my page, you can see them. I titled them the same. The only difference is just I put the number of the episode. So today is the 5th episode. So I've gone through how I received the news after his birth. I've gone through how because I didn't know he had a special need when I was pregnant. I've gone through how I received the diagnosis. I've gone through how I'm coping. So today I will just dive into how you deal with your emotions when they are ready to go to nursery. That is in the UK, children are eligible to go to nursery from 2 years old. But if you're a working parent, you can put your child in the nursery as early as 9 months, 6 months. It depends what your career life is. But in my own case, because when I had my child, I didn't go back to work. So my son only started going to nursery when he became 2 years old. Sorry guys. So it wasn't easy at all for me to to separate myself from him for those few hours. It was really difficult. The reason was that because at 2 years old he wasn't talking. Sitting was even very difficult for him at 2 years old. So I had to emotionally, it was torture for me to let him go to nursery when it was time. But from speaking to other parents, from professional advice, I was advised to let him go because it would be the best for him, and I did let him go. But it wasn't easy. The reason why they advised me to let him go to nursery is so that I can have that inclusion with other children with needs or without needs, so that he can learn and to socialize, because children start to socialize from very little. So it wasn't easy at all. So if you're a parent that have a child with a special need, it is for your own good. It's good for you to let them go to nursery so that they can learn and they can socialize as well. And so like a week before he went to nursery, I wasn't able to sleep. I was thinking how he's going to cope, because he doesn't speak, he doesn't walk. It was difficult for me. And when the day came, I took him to the nursery, and I had to do the settling hours where you leave them for like 1 hour and you stay around, and his was for like 30 minutes. I had to stay around the nursery for 30 minutes to see how he's coping, and the next day was 1 hour, and it wasn't easy for me at all. and on and on until I was able to leave him for 2 hours. But that 2 hours was like 20 years for me. And each time I go to pick him in the nursery, I see him on the floor, and he wasn't able to walk. Other children would be like walking on him and crying, following the practitioner, seeking for attention. My son would just be on the floor. My heart broke when I see those kind of things. And at a point, because he always having like a few running nose all the time, even up to date, he still has that running nose. So it's like wiping his nose is like a full-time job. So I was like terrified. I wasn't happy at all taking him there. So I couldn't bear it a lot. So after like a month or 3 weeks, I had to withdraw him, and I stayed at home. I started attending like play groups in the community, which after some time I had the courage to try again. And then he was 3 years old. So at this point, I had to take him to a private nursery very close to where I now moved to my new house. And I find the people a bit like different, and maybe because he was older, I was able to cope a little bit. And I was able to cope, and I didn't feel as horrible as I felt in the first time. So moving on choosing the kind of nursery your children go. For the age between 2 to 4 years old, before they get to the age of full-time education, you can put them in any nursery, because they're just like every other toddler at that point. Even if they're not walking like my son, or they're not talking, you just put them in every nursery. But when it goes to like proper education age, you have to be very careful. Some parents are very, this is where I really want to hammer on. Some parents like me, were very like some parents were very, hold on guys, I have to plug my phone, sorry. So yeah, so some parents like me were always in denial. I didn't want my son to go to a special needs school at all, because I didn't want anything associated with special needs school. But at a point, I find that when he came of age and he was in like like primary 1, like year 1, and he wasn't coping at all. He wasn't coping. He wasn't learning anything. Even on sports day, he would just sit down, and I could see the massive difference between him and his peer. But I was coping, and at a time, I had to tell myself the truth, which I really want to tell you people who have special needs children. Don't force your children to be in a normal school. If they can cope, it's fine. If they cannot cope, please move them to where they can cope. So after some time, I had to advise myself, especially when I go to school and I see other children bringing in books that they give to them to read. They never bother to give my son any book, because like, you know, they think he can not read it, he doesn't need it, and that really breaks my heart. So that's what's like kicked me off to start looking for where like a special needs school or a school with additional resources to take him. So please, parents, if you have children with special needs, don't force them to be in a special needs school. I don't like my videos to be long. I don't force them to be in a mainstream school. Please, if your child is not able to be in a mainstream school, please, and you see that they are not coping, please try and put them in a school suitable for them. You can check around in your community. You can speak to the social person in your life. I don't know where you are watching me from. Anywhere you are in Europe, even in Africa, please make inquiry, make research, do a lot of research to find out what is best for your son and for your child. And if you find it, please don't hesitate to take your child there, because as soon as I move my son out of a mainstream school and put him in a school, he's even not in a special needs school, he's in a school with additional resources, provisions, you know. So it's like a department. She and my daughter, they go to the same school, but he's in a department where he has his peers, people like him with other different kind of special need conditions. And so, but he's coping. As soon as I took him to the right place, he just coped, and he started reading. Within 2 months, I could tell the difference, and he kept progressing. So, parents, please, I'd like to ask you not to delay at all in taking your children to where they are supposed to get help and where they can kick off. So, guys, I don't like my videos to be very long. And please share our videos. Don't just watch it and leave it in the page. Share our videos so we can touch many lives and give many parents, new moms, people who have special needs children, we can give them hope.